Hi everyone, so I'm just going to do a quick color mixing demo to kind of further explain the concept of warm and cool colors, and I will continue talking about this in class, and I'll probably do a live demo in class, but I also just wanted to have a video for you to refer to when doing your observed color paint studies. So I'm going to turn the camera. Still have that annoying shadow. I've been trying to work on my setup for the past few weeks and it just hasn't been working to get rid of that shadow. So what we're going to do is I have my palette. So I have yellow. This is just some dried up paint. My yellow, my blue, and my red, and the white. So again, depending on the brand you have, I have a few different brands of gouache. So each brand is going to have kind of a slightly different hue of a color, so sometimes the colors will mix differently for me on the video than they will for you in real life. So just be aware of that. Like, nothing is perfect. So I have my brushes here. Again, the sponge is really helpful to clean your brushes off with. So I just wanted to kind of go over. So yellow is a warm color, okay? Red is a warm color. Blue is a cool color, okay? And so to make colors warmer, you're going to add more of a warm color. So if you have a green, this video will focus mostly on green and purple because those are the two complementary colors that can kind of run the spectrum between warm and cool. So the warmness and the coolness of a color, it's not about light or dark, because you can add white to a color and it can still be cool, because white is generally a cool color. So if this is my green and I want to make it warmer, that's like a pretty middle of the road green, but it leans towards the cool side. It feels like a bit of an army green. Now if I start to add more yellow to that green, or if I just add a little bit of blue there, so this is a yellow green, that's a lot warmer. So you can see the difference. Maybe the color is darker if I have it down. So you can see the difference between the more yellow green, which is closer to like an outside of a lime, and then a darker green, which maybe feels more like a color of a leaf. So you can play around with that. That's one way you can experiment with the warm and cool colors. And then again, like if you have a different blue, your greens are going to be really different. So this is a different brand. This is a Utrecht brand primary blue. So we put that down. And the other blue that I had already had out was a cobalt blue. So you don't have a cobalt blue, I don't believe. So your blues are going to be different. So you can see how much more, like this feels like a real primary, like generalized green, where this blue and yellow combination made it a little bit more like an army green. So you can start to see the difference. And then if you add more yellow to that green, you can see those are a little bit similar, but this still has a little richer color. Like I felt like this blue. So these are my two blues. So I have the primary blue and then the cobalt blue. And so this is here and this is here. And you can, although it's not a very drastic change, you can still see the difference. Okay? And so thinking about really, really warm greens has a lot more yellow in it. Okay, so that's one thing you want to think about when you're doing your observed color studies, is how to make things warmer and cooler. And then for purple, also going to have two different blues. You get different effects with the different blues. So this is a crimson red, and then this is a more of a rose red. So you can already see the difference between those reds. It's like more of a pink, and that's more of a regular red. So this is a purple I'm making. Now that is a really cool purple. That means not only is it a dark purple, it has so much more blue in it that it's cooler. Okay, now the more red I add, the warmer that's going to be. Okay, so you can kind of see the difference between like the violet, the more red rose violet, and then that deep, deep purple. Okay, now if I use a different red or a different blue, here's the primary blue. Okay, I'm going to use this red. Sometimes they're two different brands that I just mixed, and sometimes they don't mix very well, so it's like not that beautiful of a color. But in this case, they're actually very similar. But you can see. And then if I try this Rose Madder, this is very cool. And it almost creates like a neon purple, like a little bit of a fluorescent. Although the colors change in the light. So you can just play around with how those colors look. Now, if you add white, this is not going to make your color warmer. It's going to make your color cooler. It's almost like a gray, okay? That is still cooler. White operates on the cool end of the spectrum. Brown is a warmer color. It uses a lot of yellows and oranges. But this white, adding to these purples, it makes it more like this is more of a lavender. That's actually a lot cooler than even the darker color. So you can see that the white does not affect the coolness. It makes it lighter, but light and cool, or light and warm are not the same thing. It makes it cooler, not warmer. That is the difference you want to understand. Okay. Same with when you add white. Oops, I didn't clean my brush off enough. So there's some yellow. Here's some blue. I'm going to add more yellow. And you can even see on the palette, that's like a lime green. That's a lot. This is a lot warmer. Okay? Now adding white will make it lighter. Doesn't necessarily make it warmer. It makes it cooler in a way. White is like you can kind of think of like cold as like rain, water, blue, and white, like snow. When you think of warm, you want to think of like hot, sun, heat, flame, fire. So you're thinking oranges, reds, okay? So those are the two colors that people struggle with the most when thinking about warm and cool. So hopefully this will be just a helpful color mixing demo that you can just refer to. Okay.